to the Whitest House. Slave souls haunt the halls when the light is out. Except the blood of the poor and the way they mouth. The last gasp of a world that is dying out. Welcome to the Whitest House, where every room is a tomb that they lie about. Where you can put your filthy feet on the finest couch, and for the right amount, you can even buy it out.
The essence of your entire political identity. You might be a white supremacist.
Welcome to This Week in White Supremacy. We're back with the full lineup. We got, Les with us, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got the twins together. I'm here as well. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, what?
I'm here as well.
I've graced you with my presence.
I have come back to Wednesdays. What's up?
What is avocados? Premium avocados.
All right. So welcome to This Week in White Supremacy. I'm just X. I am co-founder and CEO of One Hood Media. I'm joined by my esteemed colleagues. Emmy Award-winning.
Treble one less in the building. Never like supremacy. You already know. We're back at it. You feel me? After being in the musical, acting and shit, we here.
And what's the 98 mean? What's the?
Oh, like Twins deep cover 98. Fun and joke.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
You gonna hit with the lyrics? You gonna...
Could we say lyrics on here?
I think so.
I don't know.
No, I could do like the ad lib, the hype man to break it up.
Yeah,
so,
I might kick some big pun. So, yeah, that's what I'm worried about, like copyright. Yeah.
Go ahead. You
Fat Joe and Remy. Is that how y'all rolling right now?
Well, it was gonna be pun and joke.
Because he light skin and I'm dark skin.
I mean, he's a man, you're a woman. Like, I mean,
did you just assume her gender?
Oh damn, this is getting.
I did
deep.
not.
You just assume my gender?
I have worked with you all. I have worked with you all for.
I never asked.
Obviously, we on one already. Did you all want to introduce yourselves? Twins 98.
He talked to us like a dad just now. Like he put his dad voice.
That was a disappointment,
right?
Is that?
I'm here and she's here.
Okay, twins are here.
Twins are here.
They
We're getting fired.
They them are the twins.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Them for you all.
They them we. They them we.
They them we. I got you.
Yes.
I got you.
I can count.
Something.
New York City Public School didn't fail me completely.
So, I guess we can go ahead and get started. I mean, the big, it's mad white supremacy going on, but the biggest. Oh, thank you. The documentary was dope. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Who said that?
Virginia said the documentary.
Oh, thank you so much. That was very good of you to say. Thank you.
So let's get started. I mean, John Gruden was the coach of the Las Vegas Raiders.
His pronouns are was and were.
And he, $100 million contract.
I bet you he got 70. I bet you he got 70.
I mean, I don't know if you resign, how that works. Like, did they negotiate a buyout? Who knows?
I guarantee you they did. Yeah.
But it started for him with a comment that he made about the NFL Players Union chief. Is it how you pronounce this dude's name?
Well, he spelled it dumb. He came for his lips and neck.
Oh my God. Are we just gonna call him Mr. Smith? All right. So I'm looking for his comment, his specific comment that he came with. Do you have the comment?
Oh, I have it memorized.
Here it is. Here it is. He called him DeMorris. DeMorris Smith has lips the size
like Michelin tires.
DeMorris Smith has lips the size of Michelin.
Woo! I'm a big lip nigga, but goddamn, like that is some funny shit.
So apparently, he explained this. John Gruden's reply to this was that he was upset with him because he felt like he was lying about the players.
Through them greasy nigga lips.
So he called him this out of spite. They weren't like joking around.
No,
was
he
saying-
just put it in an email unprovoked, bro.
Yes.
Wow.
This was an email. So mind you, let's put this, the NFL is investigating Dan Schneider and the Washington Redskins. So all of this came out because John Gruden was emailing the president of the Washington Redskins, Bruce Allen. So this was one of his emails that DeMaurice Smith has lips the size of Michelin tires, which is, one, calling him dumb as a black man dumb. This dude's a lawyer. He's the head of the NFL Players Union. Clearly,
Right,
he's not dumb.
He's a lot of things, but not dumb.
He's not dumb. And then, of course, saying his lips.
Size of Michelin tires. Hey, just like last week, when we asked white people to get creative with their racism, this is what we expect. The bar is high. Now, the bar is very high.
I wonder what Michelin, like, what they think at this point. Because, they're trending.
They're probably, what do we do? What do we do?
Oh, Michelin tires are trending. Gee, I wonder why.
Their PR department is probably sweating bullets right now.
Oh, my God. So, anyway, he tried to say that he calls people that are liars rubber lips. So that this wasn't about his lips being big.
What? But didn't he say as big as Michelin tires?
Lips the size of, that's what he said. The size of Michelin tires. But this was his you talking about creative racism. Oh, I call everybody that lies rubber lips. Like,
I mean, he was trying to cover it up by saying loose lips sink ships, like the old the British Navy, Her Majesty's Navy saying. Like, no, bro, that's not what we're saying here.
Absolutely not. But
like,
I've
never wondered. Go ahead.
When it came out, he apologized. He said that he didn't have a racist bone in his body, and he was not immediately fired or asked to resign. Something going on?
What was bro's name? Mr. Smith? That he
Somebody
said this
knocked
about?
on the door, but we're good.
Oh, the I think it's DeMaurice
Smith.
I don't know.
Yeah,
DeMaurice Smith.
Yeah,
DeMaurice Smith is his name.
Mm-hmm.
So
former head
would
of
it
the
be a
NFL.
bad move if Michelin tried to like sponsor him?
It'd be a bad move if they put his lips.
Yeah,
If they made his lips a pair of tires. That would be,
or they gave him like lifetime supply of tires. That'd be just insult to injury.
I don't know. That would be kind of hard though. If they said, "Yo,
That
we
would
gonna
be
give you
dope.
like
I mean, Michelin
That would
makes
be
good
fun.
tires, so it's like that's not a bad. Tires are expensive, especially if
Yeah,
you drive like
yeah.
if you have a wheel over 17 inches, tires are expensive.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. But at the same
I
time,
got
like
18
you said,
inches on my
but
car.
it was.
I'm
So-
just saying, like my tires are wild expensive.
So anyway, Farouk, so
I'm just saying, tires are expensive. Free Michelin tires would be the shit. Stop trying to make
John
any videos about my big financial crisis.
John Gruden was able to coach the game this weekend. The Raiders lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had different black players and coaches kind of speaking up for him. Like I said, he said he didn't have a racist bone in his body.
He said he didn't have a blade of racism in his body, and that just sounds
Not
wild
a blade.
racist to me.
That
just
I mean,
sounds-
you know,
It's not what?
A blade of racism. I've never even heard.
well, this is the thing. Like, I mean, you're what'd you say, Miracle?
because the Marrow's racist. We've already been with do this. We've already established this.
It's racist from the root.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, your bones might not be
From the
racist, but guess
soul.
what? Racist things are coming out of your mouth. Like, I don't know what your bones is doing, but there's racism physically coming out of your mouth.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's good. That was really good. That was some minister talk right there.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. So, anyways, I guess more emails came out over the weekend where he not only, went after, my man, called Brother Michelin Lips, but he also called the commissioner of the NFL the F word. He talked about gay players shouldn't be drafted and you shouldn't be forced to draft gay players. He has the only openly gay player in the NFL currently on his team. He talked about that players shouldn't be punished for protesting the national anthem. Specifically called out Eric Reed, said he should be punished. He shouldn't be allowed to play in the game. He talked about women shouldn't be referees. So all of this came out, and so he ended up. Now, mind you, so he resigned. He left. He wasn't fired. He resigned. Now, these emails were from 10 years ago. Does that matter to you all that they were from 10 years ago? And is this like cancel culture? A lot of people have said this is cancel culture. This was from 10 years ago. It shouldn't matter now.
I would want to hear him explain himself.
Well, he said his press conference was very white because he was like, "Yeah, I said it, and I don't want to talk about it again."
Wow.
He was like, "I'm not talking about this again." Like, but this was before the emails with the misogyny and the F word and all that came out. This is when it was just particularly pertaining to Michelin lips. He said, "I said it, and I'm not going to talk about this again." And
he also said he said he called the guy. He called Damaris and tried to apologize to him. But after all this other stuff came out, he didn't even decide to try to challenge it, Trouble. He basically just resigned. And he basically said he didn't want to be a distraction for the Raiders.
I didn't mean to hurt anyone.
Right. He resigned. Right. He didn't mean to hurt anybody. He resigned. So
I meant that shit. It's not changing. I might as well just get out the way.
Well, then it's not really cancel culture if you quit. Like, he resigned. Like, now, was he pressured by the NFL? Was he pressured by the Raiders? We don't know. He resigned. He said he didn't want to be a distraction. And so, comments? Do you have any comments, twins?
You want to take the mic first?
Go ahead.
I think the NFL definitely leaned on him. I think the GM of the Raiders was like, okay, listen, we'll let you slide talking about these black players once because it was 11 years ago and you didn't work for us then. But now we got more, and if we're worried about more coming out, bro, how about we give you $70 million or like, an X amount of percentage of your contract, maybe a little golden parachute or something, because white folks get shit like that whenever they leave places for ethical reasons or whatever it is. They always get a nice little golden parachute and just go away and just go quietly into the night, go on a yacht someplace where there's like-minded people around you to feel this way, and just let us play football. And then maybe 15 years down the line, if you're still alive, we'll like do some type of a rebranding or something. Who knows?
And Woogie says some of the emails were from 2015. But no, I think you're right in the sense that, like, on one email about one black guy that you tried to explain away, there were black people that were quick to jump up and defend John Gruden and say they knew him, he wasn't racist. So you're thinking like, okay,
who was the this is why I have issues with the NFL and the race issues, because wasn't it I always call him Bradley Cooper, but it's not Bradley Cooper. It was a wide receiver from the Philadelphia Eagles who ironically had the surname Riley Cooper, who said all the players were niggers. And he played on the team, and everybody was cool with like that.
He didn't say he was caught. He was like,
he was caught saying it doesn't matter.
And he was caught saying nigga. Yes.
To me, it's the same thing. It's like you say it, you call me it, it's whatever, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
But he wasn't really reprimanded. He didn't really, and that's fine. It's just like, I think Stephen A said something that I don't always agree with Stephen A, especially when he talks about boxing, because he shouldn't. John Gruden has to deal with the black community. Riley Cooper should have had to shoot a fair one with every black person in that locker room, in my opinion. Like, I think
what happens is people, it's like people conflate like, oh, I have a personal relationship with this guy. Right. But people conflate like he wasn't racist towards, like, he never said anything racist towards me. He's not racist.
And that's the thing. It's like, and I lodge up Keyshawn Johnson because Keyshawn has been saying this forever. Yeah. Even while he was like, I won a Super Bowl with this man, but I ain't like him then neither because I thought he was a sack of shit. And
he said he felt he was a fraud. He felt like
used car salesman.
Yeah, he felt like he was a fraud. And and a lot of people basically have said this, made this, that he won with Tony Dungy's player, but Tony Dungy was one of the black people that jumped up to defend him. you know what I'm saying, and defend him against his racism. So I think like
The thing is, I can't speak for other black people's cosign of you, and I'm not going to. I just know how you make me feel, and I don't care. Like, you could love my brother could love you, but if I don't like you and you make me feel a way, that's my personal truth.
Yeah, and I think, but that's what happens, right? Something, we saw with Rachel Nichols, right? Rachel Nichols got caught saying some wild stuff, and so black people were like forced to like talk about her character, and I know, right?
Why we gotta rush to defend these white people in these spaces?
100%. But I think like once he says the stuff about, once he's using all these gay slurs, he's talking about not wanting gay players, he's talking about not wanting women referees. Supposedly, these photographs of the Washington cheerleaders that they're in litigation about, those were sent to him that were new photographs of these cheerleaders that they did not want to be taken. So I think once you have all of this, I mean, you called the commissioner of the NFL the F word, you called him the P word. Like at that point, that's gonna be asked of you every single time. Did you talk to the commissioner? Did you do this? Did you meet with gay rights groups? Did you meet? And to me, he just didn't want to do that work. He was like, you know what? I'm paid. I got money.
Yeah, he got his money.
I'm gonna just fade out into the oblivion and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Miracle, what's your take on this?
You hear all these crows?
I know,
I heard that. I was like, oh shit.
If we don't make it home, this is gonna be the last.
It is fall.
Did you know that a group of crows is called a murder of crows?
Why would you say that? Don't.
I'm just letting you know. I'm just educating you.
Because they right outside the window about to they murder on.
This is how movies get written. No, I think at the end of the day, he resigned because he realized that he had messed up. And again, the audacity of whiteness is thinking you could go on a work email, which I am very confused about because like all of this stuff was happening on the work email.
Right.
Like, at what point do you say maybe I should text you these things?
Right.
Like if I'm going to possibly commit federal crimes, why am I going to do it on the work email? That's the first thing I don't understand because like, I think the audacity to email this stuff with somebody from another organization is just like, y'all just out here wilding. Like, I don't even get that. And to me, he got fired because once they started to do the review of these emails, and the sexual harassment stuff is the crux of this investigation. Once it's like, oh, you were in it, like calling black people, whatever. You can have your Jason Whitlocks, your Tony Dundys, who are always going to excuse anti-blackness for the sake of the green dollar, right? And so they're going to let white people say whatever they want to say about black people because they're always going to say, oh, it was, locker room talk, or that's how this what it is in sports. But when I was like, oh, you were participating in this culture that we're possibly facing lawsuits from, and you're talking about players being hired and fired that could possibly go to employment discrimination issues. So we know, what was it, Mike Sam, I think was his name, Sam something,
yes,
and other people who have said that the NFL won't hire them because they are gay. You kind of have now given leeway for other players to bring a discrimination suit against the company. I think that's what they got fired, because I've always said you can do whatever, but once you mess with people's money, that's when they're gonna like, bruh, hold on. Right. That was the issue. And I think again, like, racism always gets excused because I don't like to say the uncle word or the coon word, but people who fit those descriptions are always so forgiving of racism and without any accountability. So, whereas when you see like homophobic stuff or transphobic stuff, people like go compromising on this. I think that's what kind of got up the second wave going. But when that first email hit, all people go, that's just locker room talk. So what? Right. Maybe he does have big lips. Maybe they do like Michelin tires. And I personally have never seen people say tires and lips favor each other. Of all the entendres,
never heard that one.
And so I was also like, Sarah, why are you looking at tires like that? Like, it's also my question, because that would never be the comparison.
It's, with a place that is ripe with anti-black environments and atmospheres as ESPN is, I think it's hilarious how fast they threw John Gruden under the bus. You know, because like ESPN is not innocent of they've had editors allow anti-Asian comments be made, anti-LGBTQIA plus comments be made, anti-black comments be made on a regular, and they allow personalities and writers to publish these things. But I just think it's funny that they dashed John Gruden under the bus right now.
Yeah, I mean, a friend of mine who writes about sports and race, Chuck Motti, broke down a game that was just on the Thursday night game. I guess Geno Smith came in after Russell Wilson got hurt, and he showed how like they tried to act like Geno Smith lost the game. And one of the things that they actually did on ESPN is they muted the audio where the commentators were actually saying the wide receiver fell down. And they tried to make it seem like this black quarterback, his mistake cost him the game, and that wasn't even the case. So he did a whole article like this is what ESPN does. You know what I'm saying? They kind of, so you're right. But also the NFL, I mean, you have these two institutions, the NFL and ESPN, that are steeped in anti-blackness and institutional racism and white supremacy, all trying to scramble now. And what's wild is that what they do, like you said, Gruden will be a scapegoat, and then they'll go back to not hiring black coaches, not hiring black general managers, not hiring black people in any power positions. And they'll just go back to whatever it was. Now, do you all take, one of the right-wing talking points was that, for instance, the Tampa Bay Bucks took Gruden out of their Ring of Honor. One of the talking points was, but they have Richard Sherman on the team who just was accused. People. Right. And Antonio Brown. What about these guys that have had, done some stuff? Why are they still in the NFL? This
is what's powerful about this. Can we talk about Tom Brady's driving? Anybody remember that? When he got in that accident?
I remember when Ben Roethlisberger flipped his. I mean, he did more stuff than that. I mean,
Tom Brady caused a car accident for reckless driving and seriously injured somebody. Yes, exactly. Yeah, he got that shit suffocated super fast. He was still with the Patriots at that point.
Right. Yeah, it was racism because all they did was name a bunch of black people that they had problems with.
Right. We mentioned didn't name Ben Roethlisberger, didn't name some of these white people that have a history of doing wild stuff, and wildly, nobody had a problem when Colin Kaepernick kneeled down. When Colin Kaepernick kneeled down, didn't bother nobody, didn't hurt nobody, just silently kneeled on the sidelines. They was quick to say that dude shouldn't have a job.
There's something, and maybe it's because I just really like him as an athlete, and this might be just me standing, but I think it's a very annoying topic whenever, because we're here and this is my show too, I could talk about this. We don't give Antonio Brown any grace in the terms of mental health crises. We don't give Antonio Brown any grace when it comes time to him dealing with CTE. Everything just around AB is just always about his antics, and it's like, if this was a white athlete who was struggling with these same problems, we'd be having a completely different conversation about AB.
See, I disagree. I mean, I think Antonio Brown brought a lot of that on himself. I mean, you're showing up to
you sure did, but I mean,
in a helicopter.
What he needed to do to get the trade that he needed from a team that wasn't ready to support him in the way that he needed and wouldn't allow him to be himself. Because look at him thriving in Florida, having fun, going live from the pool,
but
bathing in the sun.
But I mean, Antonio Brown still did. You know what I'm saying? There were text messages where he harassed this woman who was an artist that was supposed to do stuff at his house. He did some wild stuff around with him and his baby mom that's on video. He still did wild stuff. Is it CTE? I mean, you could say that for any football player, but let's not act like he was just somebody that has been targeted.
I think Antonio Brown has been targeted. I think Antonio Brown has been targeted.
Football players do stuff. I think a part of it was he was very, in his own right, vocal about some of the injustices that happened.
And not only that,
he was the only player who was out, in his own right, supporting the protests that were going on. And he got a lot of pushback. And I think sometimes for athletes who have been loved their whole entire careers.
The moment you go against the grain,
and to be supported, and then to literally tweet out like 2 words in support of organizers, and all of a sudden have an institution and people come at you. I think it just did something to him, on top of having a personal, a public personal squat with people, a prior relationship with. And to him, saying that the situation wasn't a harassment, but a consensual situation, and seeing it as a money grab, whether it was or wasn't. I think it was a lot, and then we saw the repercussions of that. But we always see athletes acting out. It's not like Any Given Sunday where they're cutting cars in half in the movie. You know what I mean? But
I'm surprised you've actually seen that.
I have a little bit of culture, a little bit of reference. But the athletes are always acting out. But I think that what we've also seen this past week is that the report came out that, like, I think it was the ESPN reporter, the other sports reporter, was sending out articles to get reviewed from the administration.
Yeah, that was Adam Schefter.
And so what we're seeing is a lot of the viewpoints are sanitized, are coming from the actual organizations themselves.
Yes.
Whereas we only get like, oh, this athlete's acting a type of way because they don't have the support. And so we have to be like, well, was he acting out, or was there something else going on that we didn't get the full story because the administration is approving these reports?
And I would say one final thing about AB before we move on is that in Colin Dunlap here in Pittsburgh actually said this. Him and Chris Muller of The Fan, they both had brought up great points about AB's antics and linking them to his incidents with Vontaze Burfict, that he got drastically more unpredictable and sporadic because of the level of the concussions that he sustained at the hands of another football player. So these are conversations that I think really need to be taken into accountability, not just with AB, but with a lot of people, except for racist ass head coaches. I think.
I'll say this: like, do Black athletes, are they treated much differently? Just like you said, absolutely. Like, are Black athletes scrutinized more, held up to a different standard? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, because we're about to go into our educating piece. It's this idea of like, oh, they got locks, they got cornrows, how they look, and so all of a sudden now they become criminalized and treated much differently, right? Cam Newton, like, now all of a sudden, like, he's a problem because you don't like how he dresses after the game. Like, the brother,
I don't like how he dresses after the game.
First of all, that man was styling and profiling.
But that has nothing to do. Right, that has nothing to do with his play. That has nothing to do with the fact that
there's not 31 quarterbacks better than Cam Newton right now.
Exactly, but that becomes an issue as a Black dude, like with how he dresses and all this. So I agree with that 100%. But like I said what I said. I also think like there were things that Antonio Brown did that he brought upon himself.
The locker room video was, in my opinion, the most egregious.
Oh,
no, he did much more egregious stuff than that.
Number one, like,
much more egregious stuff than that. But we can move on. You know what I'm saying? We don't. Unless you want to make it the sports. Well, let's
we didn't need to make a sports podcast.
We can still do a sports because let's yes. In Texas is like, y'all looking like criminals was saying to his athletes.
Right?
Too.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, let's stick to sports because there was a big boxing match over the weekend.
That I predicted. Tyson Fury versus
Deontay Wilder. Everybody pretty much thought, although Deontay Wilder, he held his own. He definitely did a lot better than he did the second fight. And he showed a lot of grit, he showed a lot of heart. But then a video came out with Tyson Fury.
Is this a new video or I just want to know?
I don't know when this video came out.
Hilarious because his son looked so uncomfortable. His son,
the whole family.
Can you pull that Tyson Fury video up, John?
So we get a trigger warning. There's a white man about to say the N-word.
Trigger warning. It's this week white supremacy. You should already know what you get into, but trigger warning.
Good point.
Tyson Fury. Let's get it.
Listen that
shit. He looked at his son too, like nigga.
And they didn't even say anything until that part 2. They were waiting for it.
They were like, "Oh snap!" So does that, Farouk, you're a boxing fan. I don't know if you're a fan of Tyson Fury.
No, I just had something come up in my time hop yesterday where I had him, Danny Garcia, and Adrian Broner, and a clown in the same photo grid. I think Tyson Fury is a fantastic boxer. You can't deny that.
Does it matter that like he's not American? Is that like because I mean he has like a black trainer.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like you're in boxing, it's kind of that same thing that like, somebody like John Gruden will say, well, I'm not racist. I've been around black people my whole career. To be an NFL coach means majority of your teammates are going to be black. You know what I'm saying? And so like we saw stories come out about John Gruden. He had a black punter that he cut because he didn't like his personality. It had nothing to do with his actual punting. So like, is this the same thing where Tyson Fury will more than likely say, I'm around black people. I love black people. I have black people I love.
He's from the Midlands. Like, he's from the Midlands of England.
That's his culture.
No, it's not his culture at all.
Him and Jesse. That's why they out here. With brown skin and N-word dropping.
I think that's why I wanted to know when Tyson Fury's video was. Like, I didn't know if that was new or old. Like, it doesn't matter to me. But what was the question you asked me? Do I feel?
Yeah, like, does that make you look at him differently?
I look at all entitled white men the same.
They're all racist.
Yeah.
Miracle, do you have?
You prove to me otherwise? I gotta look at you like you racist.
Do you have any feelings about Tyson Fury? Miracle?
I keep trying to say, like, show one. It depends on what type of black people are in their lives, because the only way you're comfortable.
Can you get a little bit?
The only way you're comfortable saying the N-word and you have black friends, if your dumbass black friends let you say the N-word,
and that's it, man.
And that is
top
it.
Left.
I tell my friends, if y'all get caught up, don't use me as any excuse. I'm gonna be like, sucks to suck. I don't know you. Because I don't understand why is it so difficult? Again, I'm not Papa John's. I just don't understand why it's just like
real
so
ingredients, real niggas.
Not to say certain words or not to be recorded. Again, this audacity of like, you're not supposed to do something and you're going to do it in a medium to get recorded and to get shared out with other people. I just don't get it.
I know. He already made Hoteps mad by beating up Deontay Wilder 3 times. And so they're gonna be even more upset now once that video.
I did see a tweet, so there's nothing we can do about it because we already sent our best hitter. And he got knocked out.
So I'll go to you, Trouble, because there was this conversation. I think Tamia had sent a video to This Week in White Supremacy, and it was around like artists, like he's singing a song. You know what I'm saying? In this song, the rapper is saying nigga. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of a thing where they were asking, I don't know, did you see that video where they were asking like the white people, like, do you say nigga when the song is? And they'd be like, well, if I'm by myself, I kind of maybe say it under my breath a little bit. Your artist, do you think about that? If when you use the N-word, do you think about as a rapper using the N-word, is that giving white people permission to say it?
I don't think it's ever giving white people permission to say that shit. Ever. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no matter who you're around, you know that word is off limits. You know that we say it to express ourselves. Just listen and enjoy. What's so hard about that? You know what I'm saying?
And then just, if you don't know, now you know.
Nigga. What's
get a little snap on, just keep
he's black.
He's black today?
He said his dad or mama black?
No, Logic took a very interesting take on that.
No, because he had the conversation. He's like, I'm biracial.
Is black.
Yeah, he's not black. He's biracial. Him and Sage Steele should have a podcast.
So we're gonna keep it moving. Basically,
I hate that man. And
shout out to Virginia had mentioned that we have an education documentary.
Say what I want to say.
It's called Student Voices. Yeah, please censor yourself. You can go to studentvoicespa.com and watch our documentary. And we had a whole education conference last week, 5 days, and it seemed like it was a lot of teacher on student white supremacy that happened this week. You had mentioned the one story where a teacher, I guess he said that the students were dressing like Dr. Dre. They were looking like criminals. He's a principal in Texas.
Texas is just fucking up today, man. Like this today, we just got to have an episode on Texas.
Texas is wild, but it says the principal's name is Anthony Levecchi. They said he was caught on video last Thursday complaining about how black students were dressed for 90s throwback day. It's embarrassing. It's frustrating. Now, it's 90s throwback day, so of course they're going to look like Dr. Dre. It's the 90s. I mean, come on. He said it's embarrassing. It's frustration. We have people posing for pictures looking like they're Dr. Dre from the 90s. I'm not sure if that's the look we're going for. It doesn't make our school look good. He said that these students look like criminals.
Don't like. This is what happens when you have out of touch. When you have out of touch people in charge of children,
Black and brown children,
and not only out of touch people, but people who have a vested interest in etiquette, which is deeply rooted in white supremacy, which is deeply rooted in anti-black behavior, and not recognizing that our culture is dignified, historic, expressive, artistic, and to be celebrated. So when you have these people in front of a school dealing with black and brown children, these are the comments that are par for the course.
Right. And just like you said, here are students having fun. We're going to have a 90s throwback day.
What you expect,
trying to make school fun, right? Let's go to school. Let's have a 90s throwback. And so, the 90s was baggy clothes, the jerseys, the different things. Now, all of a sudden, and that was one of the students said, okay, because we're representing black culture from the 90s, why does our culture have to equate us looking like criminals? Why does it have to be that way?
You know why? Because I'll tell you why. Because what's his name? Anthony Levecchi. Levecchi got bullied by all the kids that they was dressing like, and he had flashbacks. If we get pushed in lockers for all the kids that dressed like that, he was
got his lunch.
He was like, I remember when Laquan did that shit to me. Fuck that nigga.
Mushed him in his face. That Michelin tire having black.
I bet you he was a victim of what I used to do. I used to take ketchup packets.
Allegedly.
No, this is high school. It doesn't matter.
No, yes, it does.
There's no statute of limitation on ketchup slapping.
Okay, when somebody comes out trying to cancel you, that person I was that. I
mean, I used to have ketchup packets in my hand.
People
and
would
I would slap
say
you in the back of the neck.
People who were there would say you did what?
They would say I did that.
So it says
what's the purpose of putting ketchup on somebody's back?
It ruined their outfit. You slap them.
That's so violent.
Yeah, I was wild in high school, allegedly.
So shout out to these students. They actually had a sit-in. The teacher, the principal apologized. You know what I'm saying? He said he shouldn't have treated them like that. He said it won't happen again. But
where's the accountability? Like, when is it that these apologies aren't enough? Because we just had here in Pittsburgh a principal called students the N-word. Yeah. Like, when is that's not acceptable to me.
Well, in North Carolina,
like assimilation. That is the issue. People look at education like assimilation.
100%.
And so that is why there's very rarely accountability from the very beginning. Mm-hmm. We look at education as a stripping of Black and brown identity for this white American identity.
Into etiquette training and all, like you're going for a status quo.
We have all this critical race theory backlash right now because we're trying to force these kids not to be Black, not to be brown, but to be some type of other that is just tolerable.
It's interesting that you say that, Miracle, because it kind of, it made me think about that's probably why what happened to the young girl in New Jersey happened to her, right? Because there was a story that came out of New Jersey where they said a teacher was accused of ripping this young girl's hijab off of her head, right?
Saying your hair is beautiful.
Right. You saying your hair is beautiful. You don't have to wear this hijab. The girl's family said that this teacher forcibly removed her hijab from her head. This is a 7-year-old girl, mind you.
Don't put your hands on my daughter first, though.
This is a student in 2nd grade. You know what I'm saying? The student felt humiliated, traumatized. And so shout out to what's the sister's name?
Ibtihaj Muhammad.
Ibtihaj Muhammad, who's an Olympian. She's a fencer, somebody that they did the Barbie doll of her, you know what I'm saying, really celebrating, Muslim Black women. And so the teacher is saying that, I thought she had a hoodie on. And I think, come on. And I'm sorry, if you this isn't the first day of school, you know that this child is a Muslim child.
You in New
This
Jersey.
child is in your school, but that's what I'm saying. Like, we've been in school for 2 months. By now, you know this little girl, if she wears her hijab, she's wearing her hijab every day. You know what I'm saying? She's not wearing her hijab on Wednesdays and then Thursdays she's just wearing whatever.
And
She's
even if
wearing
she
her hijab
is,
every
you know a hijab from a hoodie.
Well, maybe she, but I think it goes into like what Miracle said. You want to strip her. No, you want to strip our culture away.
Mhm.
And it's like, no, speak English. It's this whole thing where, some Mexican people will be speaking Spanish and they're like a white person will go crazy. You're in America. You got to speak English. Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, your parents came over here speaking German and whatever other language. You know what I'm saying? Like, why all of a sudden they Italian and everything? Why we can't celebrate our own culture? But it kind of has that idea. Of right?
Here's the irritating part about that. Spanish is the most commonly spoken language in the United States of America. That's actually the most commonly spoken language on these 3 continents between Canada or countries between Canada, North America, Central America, and South America. Like, you know what I mean? So on this entire, plate, this tectonic plate, Spanish is the most common spoken language. Don't tell me not to speak Spanish, nigga. Don't speak English around me.
But it's like, why can't, like, if we can celebrate St. Patrick's Day, like, why can't I bring my culture? Like, when it's a celebration of my culture, when I bring my culture into these white spaces, all of a sudden it's like weaponized. It's like I'm a criminal. I'm wrong. I got to try to take it off her head. Oh, you're in America now. You don't need a hijab. You just let your hair just beautiful. And it's like, yo, this is.
I see something. Just building off that real quick. I seen something the other day. A friend of mine posted up. She black woman gave up everything and moved to Mexico. She said, "Fuck it, I'm done with the States and moving to Mexico." And she posted up an interesting factoid that the Mexican government recognizes 68 languages spoken in Mexico, and most of them are indigenous and First Nations people languages, and they recognize dialects of each one of them. And never do you hear someone walking around Mexico saying, "You're in Mexico, speak Spanish," because they recognize the cultural, the cultural spectrum of linguistics. And that is something that's so interesting to highlight your point, where these people's parents came here speaking Czech and Polish and Italian and German and Dutch and, all these other things. And that's fine.
Yeah.
But the moment you hear Spanish, which is the most commonly spoken language that you're going to hear until you go to China or Asia, where you're going to hear, any of these offshoot Asian languages, that's a problem for you.
Yeah, that's a problem. Well, we did have one teacher actually face some repercussions, Farouk, when the teacher in North Carolina resigned after telling black students in her class that they would be her field slaves.
Fire for that.
Yeah, like, come on, man. Like, what made you think that was okay to say
if
to
not
a group
for the
of children?
Constitution? If not, it says one of several recent racial incidents at this charter school in North Carolina. This is one of several. But just imagine, this is an 8th grade English teacher, had black students raise their hands on Constitution Day and told them they would be her field slaves without the Constitution. First of all, that's entirely not true. One, that's just not a fact. The Constitution didn't ban slavery. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying?
The Constitution kept slavery in order for there to be voting rights, to keep the South from succeeding. I don't understand. People don't understand how the 3/5 compromise actually gave the South power through the U.S. House of Congress. And it basically said that you keep your field slaves and we'll let you vote and have a counterbalance to a Senate. Like, I do not understand. People don't understand why this is so easy to get.
Get them.
Embarrassing.
Jail.
Right.
I'm telling you, run the fade. I feel like we should have run the fade Fridays.
I like
and
that.
You should just not be able to get arrested for people who deserve to have a fade, like a fair one on Fridays. That's what I think we need, because clearly somebody did not get the run up, get done up memo. And I'm perplexed.
It's bothersome.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely wild that, and just like you said, just the audacity of a teacher to have all the black students raise.
It's like, Roe versus Wade for what? Brown versus Board of Education for what? Like you have these educators who more often than not are Karens, more often than not, harbor and just expel this racist verbiage in front of these black and brown students. There should be a racial litmus test. There should be a critical race theory that gets taught at schools. There should be an anti-racism training. Why doesn't anybody do that?
I don't know, probably because people don't want truth or mask in their life. So I don't.
Or masks. Yeah.
That would be so effective,
Why doesn't anybody? There should be an organization that does that. If only we knew of one.
If only we knew organizations that could teach you.
If only we knew of one.
The N-word during class.
If only we knew of one organization. Who could that be?
I know. Maybe that radical black-led organization.
Maybe, yeah. Those really divisive niggas.
That could be our tagline, bro.
The radical black organization.
No, those really divisive.
Those divisive niggas.
Those divisive niggas. That's how we're getting on our shirts, on the back of our shirts.
Those really divisive niggas. Can that one say nigga? Can that one say nigga? We need a 23 and me ahead.
You know what? Somebody said we have like the color cue of like who can say nigga at our staff organization, so we could just like line all of us up and be like,
that's clever, almost like the brown paper bag test, but in reverse. But can Sean King say nigga?
Anyway, are we on Black Excellence or are we on our Karen of the week?
Sean King could be on Black Excellence. He's
let's move to our Karen because it's interesting. We can get our Karen of the week because what's funny is this same school.
God made me this way.
If you read this article,
listen, God and Beyonce leaves him out of stuff.
This same school said that there was a group of black students that were talking about how racist it is to compare black people to monkeys, and a teacher happened to walk by and allegedly told the students, "It's okay. You're all my little monkeys."
Whoa.
And so
this is the same school?
The same school. The same school here required to leave.
That's the day I go to jail as a parent. Like, that's the day I go to jail.
It says that a white student also in the same school called a black student a monkey. The black student reported the incidents to the teacher, and the teacher said it was fine. We're all a little bit racist.
Thank you for admitting it,
wow.
teacher.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even mad at that, but
teacher, because everyone's like, I'm not racist. I'm not. Teacher's like, well, it's all of us.
We're all racist. But it is, and kind of going to our Karen, like, I guess.
What is this?
Texas.
I wonder. No, this was North Carolina. Yeah, what I wonder though is it like
Texas University in North Carolina?
Yeah, it's in all those school books. From Texas,
yeah, I know. I know. Yeah.
It does seem like Monkey is making a comeback. I now wonder, like, is there a board? Is there like a racial slur board where people kind of get together and say, like, this is what we're going to use? Because it seems like Monkey's making a comeback. And our Karen of the week. Well, are we going to get to our Karen of the week? Or are we going to discuss like the costume?
Let's do both.
I think we could we could definitely.
Let's go to our Karen of the week first. Let's go because our Karen of the week had a problem with some movers, and those movers were black. And of course, her first instinct was to be racist.
And not only instincts, animal slurs. I see where you're going with that. I see where you're going with that.
This is her car. She can't get out, can she?
In San Rafael, California, this woman is angry at a moving crew.
Monkey! Look at that. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes, she just called the African-American driver a monkey.
I can't even walk between this.
You are walking between it, though.
Yes, the moving guy is thinner than she is.
You know what?
Watch out.
With you?
What's wrong with you?
To go to work.
Okay.
The truck now.
You're holding me up.
TYT for the white.
The garbage man.
For Young Turks.
Right now. Get in that truck.
The woman with the lovely forearm tattoo.
If you look, can you rewind it to the beginning, John? Can you just push play? Just push play.
Excuse me, turn to your work.
Like, all she has to do is drive
she can't
forward.
Get out, can she?
And like, San Rafael, California,
it's not even her fault. She can just drive forward and leave.
I was
Look at that.
In San
Maybe
Rafael,
she said she couldn't get in. Maybe she's a thicker girl. Maybe she's like like me, and she needed a little more room.
But she said she can't even get out, so it's not even her car.
I don't know. She put mad emphasis in that monkey though. She put
Yes, she said that shit with her chest.
Monkey.
It's probably a monkey. I'm falling on the sidewalk like assault. I'm calling the cops.
Get that money. Get that shmoney.
I was assaulted verbally.
So Halloween is coming up, and apparently because of Halloween, there's a new costume that people decided to produce, and that is the Karen costume. That you can dress up as a Karen now on Halloween. This has prompted. What'd you say?
I said instead of just being one.
You can put the hair on, the glasses on, and so there were a lot of black people that were upset. So first of all, what do you all think about a Karen costume on Halloween?
Miracle had a great take on it.
We missed our Dave Chappelle conversation.
We did.
That. Damn. Oh wow.
We were on fire today though.
Okay.
You want to go back to Dave?
No, I want you go ahead and say your wrong opinion about the Karen costume first.
I don't have a wrong opinion. I was gonna echo your sentiment.
Go ahead, then.
You say it. I'm not
speaking for you. You already gave me credit, so go ahead. Steal my thunder. Go ahead.
How am I giving you?
Say it. You say it.
Miracle said that. What did you say?
Something about black people and
yeah, I think it's not funny. Like people always like to laugh at black folks' misery, and this costume is not funny. You're like, these people are literally terrorists, and like how we wouldn't want people to dress up as like the Taliban or Nazis. We shouldn't want people to dress up as these Ken and Karens because they're weaponizing state violence against people. And I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some idiot black person who's going to dress up as a Karen too, and this goes for them as well. Not everything is meant to be funny or a joke, but I'm pretty sure Dave Chappelle would disagree with me. But that's what I would say.
Can we also give a PSA that, I think we should do this every year? If you wear blackface, that's fine, but just don't be upset at the consequences afterwards.
It's not fine.
Yeah, it's not fine.
No, I mean, don't be upset you get fired. Don't be upset you get your ass whooped. Don't be upset.
Because you brought up Dave Chappelle, like, what is your Dave Chappelle take, Miracle? Because you brought it up.
Go ahead. No, because you wanted to start. Go ahead.
What is your Dave
Chappelle? I didn't have a take.
Yes, you are so. Oh my god.
So one of the things
you're gonna lie today.
I asked you to educate me.
Look, we about to cancel John. About to take us out there. We were asking, right? Because going back to John Gruden, and we just going to rewind because I think you brought it up, so I think it's important to talk about. People were saying that because John Gruden didn't get fired when he talked about black people, but got fired when the remarks came out that there were homophobic remarks, that proved Dave Chappelle's point. That in Dave Chappelle's...
What proves Dave Chappelle's point is all you bootlicking black people who literally sit there and say, "Oh my gosh, just give him a second chance." What was it? John Whitlock, whatever his name is, had a whole show. Doesn't matter. Had a whole show about how it wasn't that big of a deal, and this is just football. Right. It's all y'all allow people to get away with being racist. Even Dave Chappelle himself was hanging out with Joe Rogan, who people called white supremacist elite adjacent. All these type of people. So you can't get mad and say, "Oh my gosh, when I say something homophobic, all the gay people, come together and rally we get canceled." When black people don't do the same things, y'all allow whether it's 6ix9ine, whether it's these white women out here blackfishing, always being co-signed by some black male rapper. Y'all allow
or woman, because I think it was Nicki Minaj that was just in the video with.
Well, she be going through something right now, so she's an outlier. So we're just gonna, we're
canceling Nicki.
We're gonna wish and pray for Nicki that sister to find her
way.
What'd
you say?
She's going
Nicki
through.
She has some issues. Nicki has some issues. Yeah, we're gonna pray for her.
We're gonna pray for her
to find her way.
And that's my point, man. I'm so hurt by Nicki, man. I'm so hurt by Nicki.
But we're talking about Dave Chappelle. Let's not.
And I feel like my thing is, it's not about punching up or punching down. It's like, why, Damon Wayans, do you feel like you're enslaved because you can't make fun of gay people, or you can't make fun of queer people, or you can't make fun of disabled people? What about your art and your genius and your intelligence is so limited that you can't write jokes that don't make fun of folks? Why can't you just look at yourself and make a joke? Like, I love Cat Williams. I love all these other people. You know, we were talking earlier. What was his name? I said if he was here, he would milk and cookies. What was his name?
Bernie Mac.
I think Bernie Mac would be thriving right now if he was still alive, because he had brilliant commentary and it was a great comedian, and he wasn't a shock jock. I feel like a lot of these comedians use shock as their selling tool because they have nothing else going on for them. And for Dave Chappelle to, like, for this fourth special now, like, goddamn, for this fourth special to be like, I just can't make fun of the gays. It makes absolutely no sense to me. And you can, and you know, whether it's a black kid in a monkey suit or a monkey costume, or, you know, a fried chicken picture KFC for to show solidarity with Black people, we can push and get things changed if we are united, but we are not. And then we look at Jewish people being united, we look at gay people being united, we look at Asian people being united, and we get upset.
Did you just go Hotep?
No. Being united.
No, I think she's real. Yeah.
When we're divided and we allow people to disrespect us. That's what I would say.
We couldn't even stop wearing Gucci for like 30 days. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we couldn't even do that. I think
we said don't listen to Kanye for one day, and y'all couldn't even do that.
Couldn't even do that. Yeah.
So I think that album dropped at 12:00, and by 12:05, you ever listen to 3 songs.
What, Donda? Yeah.
So I think you make a great point. And I think, like, I
Kanye.
also thought some of the conversation, because it seemed like, you know, watching the Dave Chappelle special, it seemed like Dave Chappelle was, you know, he was talking about the LGBTQIA community as being a community that was white. And I think, like, what I saw from a lot of Black, gay, and trans people, where they felt that they were being erased. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, be specific. If you're going to say this is specifically about white gays,
right,
or white trans people or whatever, but because you're talking about a whole community, that there are also Black people that exist in their community, they're brown people, they're all different colored people that exist in their community. But he was talking about it in the sense that was a completely white community, and I think that was one of the issues that I saw people have in conflating that. Yeah, you know, is Dave Chappelle brilliant? Absolutely. Like, and I think that, once again, I think you can say he's brilliant, and have I cracked up at Dave Chappelle's comedy? Of course, but also say, hey, but also be critical, just like we can say, man, Kanye's a talented artist, but, you know, as soon as this dude puts a hat on, like, nah, you know what I'm saying?
Quote unquote, all that red cap, we going home.
Yeah. So I think we can.
My thoughts when I was watching Dave Chappelle shit was, like, it pointed out the conversation that needs to be had about, like, gender versus sex, because I feel like a lot of old heads have that confused, because they think that, because he kept saying this gender is a fact shit. I'm like, it is not, because we can't look at someone and be like, oh, this is your gender. All we're seeing is what we perceive their sex to be. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, sex is scientific, gender is determined by the person who feels that shit, and they're the only ones who can define that. You know what I'm saying? So when we're looking at someone and assuming their gender, we have to realize that we are completely out of our jurisdiction, because we don't feel that shit. We don't feel what's going on the inside of that person, how they feel inside. We can only see what their physical makeup looks like. You know what I'm saying?
I looked at this special. Go ahead.
That was a great point.
I just also want to say, when he said everybody gets birth through a vagina, no, because there's also C-sections, you idiot. So I also wanted to follow up on Treble's point. But also, I think it is on the Sunset Strip. But Richard Pryor, for everyone who is so like, oh my God, Dave Chappelle is so brilliant with his joke. That joke is a Richard Pryor joke about you can make fun of gay people but not Black people. So I would encourage people to go watch Richard Pryor's earlier
on the Sunset. Yeah, on the Sunset Strip is great.
I think it's on the Sunset, and maybe the Here and Now. But I remember him being in the black suit. So
On the Sunset, he was in red. He was in red on the Sunset.
Anyways, that one I think it is, but also like this does not affect Dave's life at all. Why?
Not at all.
Like literally, it's like the force is like Boosie. It's like I don't know what Dave Chappelle and Boosie have going on. That every time something gay happens, they have to speak on it. But like, move on. That's it.
That's it.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, I look at it as Dave being from an older generation, kind of like what Treble just said. I think Dave highlighted the point that there's a lot of conversation that needs to be had. And I think he was poignant in doing so. Now, whether you could say in retrospect, was it the best way to do it? I'm not going to sit here and say one way or the other. I'm looking at it as, did I laugh during the comedy special? Yeah. Did I laugh the whole time like I did in the prior ones? Nah. I know, like, I came from a specific era. Jasira, you came from that same era where we laugh at a lot of that shit, and we still will laugh to this day if the jokes. And I had asked the question: could In Living Color be out today? Could Damon Wayans and David Allen Greer do Men on Film today? Could they do a lot of that? And I don't think it would be received as well. Because
TT on Instagram, that is Dave Chappelle. I mean, that is In Living Color.
It's not funny though.
I don't know.
It's not funny, but it's still
that person is.
It's still black comedian.
Well, that's Wanda. Pretending. That was Wanda.
There's there's the Pat Lucky. There's
I don't know who that is.
There's a
bunch I don't know these people.
Do the same exact.
It's not the same comedy because I don't believe that it's the same comedy because what Men on Film did. Men on Film was two cis straight men making fun of gay people critiquing film.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you could maybe. Like I said, I it was more. I didn't necessarily see it as personally as making fun of them.
It wasn't making fun, but it was running.
Like I said, I'm not.
It was running gay.
I kind of defer to like.
Don't write crappy ass TV specials with bad wigs for y'all to sit there and say you can't run a trope on TV because clearly y'all watching the Tyler Perry.
Can I say something?
What?
That's a hell of a statement.
Have you not seen the gay people?
I'm just saying that's a hell of a point. It's a hell of a point.
I think like just like you said, I would say first of all, like I said, I thought Trouble's point was really powerful. I've never heard it put that way.
But that's the thing. Like, that's a conversation us as cis straight men don't really comprehend.
100%. So thank you for that, Trouble, because you gave me a new perspective. I also think like the whole story about the white trans woman, it's kind of that thing of like, oh, I had this friend, like it's something that white people do all the time.
I have a black friend. Yeah, I thought the same thing.
And here's me and this black friend. And so obviously, if I care about this one black person, then obviously I can't be racist because look at me and my black friend. We're on Instagram together. We're hugging each other's children. And that doesn't,
that was the one time I was watching it. I was like, Dave, you're smarter than this.
Yeah. It's like, come on, bro. Like,
you're better than this one right here. Like, you're mascotting somebody at this point, and that's not cool.
100%. Like
because that's the whole reason you quit the Chappelle show, is because you felt like you were being mascotted by Comedy Central to co-sign racism.
Yeah, I mean, you felt like you didn't know, like, were these people laughing with you or at you was one of the things that he mentioned. And, he is the person, like he said, he is the person that walked away. But the question, and I think ultimately, Dave Chappelle is the number one stand-up comedian on the planet. You know what I'm saying? He is, like they said, according to Netflix, they said Sticks and Stones was the highest viewed comedy special that they ever had. And so I think it goes back to like Miracle's first point. It's a lot going on in our community. It's a lot you can use your platform for. Now, I'm not the person, I don't write jokes, but it's like if we're all eyes are going to be on you, and you basically take 75 to 80% of your episode and dedicate it to like going at LGBT. I mean, to me, it's like you kind of like, come on, bro. Like we got like why not utilize that time to make some jokes and break some stuff down about how we should be more organized, how we should be more unified, how we can come together more if that's what you really want to see. You know what I'm saying? And so I just, when I watched, I just, like you said, once he got to that part and he's telling this long story about the white trans woman and, rest in peace to her and her family. We don't.
Daphne Gorman, that was her name.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to, because she died, whatever. But it was just like, come on, bro. Like, why don't we come together? I just felt like, like I said, who am I to say Dave Chappelle could have utilized his time better? But that's kind of how I felt. Like, bro, like, let's come together. Like, use that. You got the platform. You got all eyes on you. I just felt like it was like you had a score to settle, and you basically used this to try to settle your score.
Yeah, it did seem like when you told me about it, and you said,
y'all be having secret conversations.
We talk all the time.
But,
well, we ain't like talk about sneakers no more.
Because, like, I'm gonna tell you why I hit him up, Miracle. Why I hit him
in the voice.
Use your inside voice for your ass be outside. Okay.
First of all, put me outside, see what happens.
You ain't coming back in. That's what.
That's hilarious. But why I hit him up? All right, that is
the reason you called him was what? Hold on, the reason you called him was
because
what?
He said it sounded like a response.
Yeah, like when I was like, I was kind of like, it fell, particularly the end of it, it fell flat for me, and I kind of felt like I wanted to know, was it just me? I was like, he seemed like he had a beef. It was like his response. It was like ether or takeover, whatever, and I just fell flat to me, and so I wondered if it was just me. So I hit him up like, did you see this? Because it wasn't as funny as I'm thinking. Like, this the close, this is the end. This is like his finale. I thought he was going to go out there and do a 360 dunk, and it just fell flat.
I thought the line was funny. Like, in context of the delivery, the premise, the theme of the show, I was like, oh, okay. But did I like, was it kicker in the pussy? No, it wasn't. That's a Dave Chappelle punchline.
That's a Dave Chappelle joke.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
Just be clear.
Yeah, that's
everybody watching.
It's like, he saves but he rapes. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes, these are Dave
It wasn't
Chappelle
that.
jokes.
It wasn't. I was like, oh, okay.
So I was wondering, if it was just me.
She said
Miracle?
she cried hearing the story and it touched her. So, like, there are people that the show is resonating with in a positive way.
Yeah.
But it was just like, I don't get it, sir. Like, all the stuff going on in the world. That's
my thing.
Right.
And then, And it was kind of like, when he told the story. I mean, and I know this is probably a horrible reaction. When he kind of told the story, I was kind of like, well, that's not funny. Like, why are you? I don't. You know what I mean? Like, that's this woman killed her. It's like, why? Like, I was wondering, like, wait, is this? I thought this was the comedy show. So it was weird to me. It seemed weird. It seemed like a weird place.
And I'll tell you what, when he said her response was to the carpet master drapes, and she was like, I have hardwood floors. I thought that was hilarious. That was a great response to that shit. Am I the only one thinking it was funny?
No, I mean
that was funny.
That's funny to me. That's funny.
But like,
no, I agreed with. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Miracle.
No, you're good because you did talk.
I was just gonna say I agree with Farouk about like he's smarter than that. The whole time I was watching the show, I'm like, come on, Dave. Like, I actually would love to have a conversation with Dave because it's like, bro, like you're a thinker. I know you are. Think a little bit harder. You know what I'm saying? Think about this. Have you added this to your mix? You know what I'm saying? Because it's clear that he's missing a lot of points, and I see how like the whole second half of it definitely seemed like a response to cancel culture. It was almost like he was saying like cancel culture is what killed my friend. So now I'm here to talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
And to me, Sticks and Stones was that. It was like that was a much better response to cancel culture than what this was.
But the question I would ask though is when do we have that discourse about this internet bullying and how like anybody can be subject to a target, even within your own community? Like, think about how brutal Black Twitter is to like Black people. Like, that's a lawless land. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the moment you go against the grain on Black Twitter, if you say something like, I don't know how to play spades, you get dragged, right? Or what?
Does that hurt you?
I mean, I don't have Twitter. I don't have Twitter, but I'm just saying, like,
do you know how to play spades?
I don't.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. That's why he said, that's why he's talking about it.
Like, you know, that within everybody's these little internet communities that don't exist in real life, there's just this digital echo chamber. Everybody is kind of like subjected to get dragged, and some people who don't have the wherewithal to just close the screen or dash your phone away get hurt over it.
But I think once again, I think that's a separate conversation.
That's what I was saying. But like,
and to go to Miracle's point, if you said like, what are the principal things that like we should be thinking about? That's not in my top 10, to be honest with them. It's a mad stuff that Black people having to deal with. That's just not high on that list. Now, I guess, people have came at him and wrote think pieces about him, and more people are probably on this one. And so I guess he uses that as fuel for his comedy. Like, and that's basically what he did. He kind of was like, okay, this is for all those people that keep trying to cancel me or write think pieces about me. Cool. But then it becomes like what I liked about him as a comedian, like you said, like a Richard Pryor or Chris Rock, is they're kind of commentating on what's happening in the world, not necessarily like this is about him. You know what I'm saying? I kind of wanted you to come and make a commentary on other things that was happening, but it was very personal to him, obviously, and it was about people canceling him and him feeling like he had to defend himself. So we ain't going to hear a lot from him, I guess, according to what he's saying. So I guess we'll have to see what's next or whatever.
I just want to say, because the comments, Farouk, disclosing him how to play spades, I did suggest a spades teaching tournament and was trying to do it for One Hood Day, but it was shot down. So if y'all want us to teach y'all how to play spades, and have a spades tournament, Black people only, because Black people have to teach Black as a gatekeeper Blackness. Hit us up. Say we would like. I'm down for a spades because I don't know how to play dominoes. Right, that's what I want. I want to learn how to play dominoes. But
it's math.
Do like a Black game day, like how you play Uno the correct way, not reading the rule book, because you can draw 2 and draw 4 until you get to color. Uno don't know how to play their own game, but
Woogie asked a great question. Will it be a judgment-free zone?
Now,
nigga, what the big jokers for? What the hell's wrong with you?
Tough love is still love, right? And sometimes people say it as judgment, but really it's like feedback and criticism. Well, I don't know why you look at me like that. So you put your shades back on, because I like this. I told you I would teach you how to play spades and you didn't want to.
So Miracle, if and we haven't, I don't think we made an official announcement that we have this new space. I know people have seen it on the Power Hour. Farouk was there last week. We have a new space. We have the black box. And so I like the idea. So maybe let's put a date on the schedule. Let's have a game night. Let's have a game night at the black box. We can have.
We're allowed though, so no menthols and we can't drink.
No Hennessy.
Oh yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, that just doesn't sound like a fun time to me.
Game night? Is that fun?
Game night?
No, that doesn't sound.
Spades and dominoes and stuff.
No.
Oh my goodness.
None of that sounds entertaining to me at all. That's too many people.
We can limit it because COVID.
Still, how many people do you want to have over?
I mean, what do you think?
That's too many people.
4 people is too many.
The only thing I enjoy the only thing I enjoy that's like a group thing is the cinema. Get your mind out the gutter.
Oh my god! I wasn't even thinking about. Oh my lord! Not that we know anything about that. So let's.
Maybe Farouk won't be there. Miracle. I like the idea of game night, having some snacks.
Yeah, like I don't play board games inside chess. That's the only board game I play.
We can have chess there, bro. We can have a chess board. We can have dominoes. We can have spades. We can have, whatever other card game folks like to play.
You could be our designated chess master. You know what I'm saying? We could be like, who can beat Farouk?
I mean, there's probably a lot of people can, but have you ever seen that meme where it's like, I like to go out in public than be upset when other people be here? That's how I feel. Like, I love being outside, but I just hate seeing other people.
What you put together?
That's that introvert.
And then also, Farouk, you can always go to the office if you can just dip to the office, get your refill on or whatever, re-energize, and then just come back to game night. You know what I'm saying?
Or I could just go home.
So how about, do you have our book, Miracle? Do you have our book? Book of the week.
Can we match? Can we put it up so we can match?
Okay.
Okay, wait, where's it? Use your other hand. Use your yeah. Right hand. Right.
Okay. Ready for Revolution.
Come on.
By Stokely Carmichael, also known as Kwame Ture. Ready for Revolution.
It's called Ready for Revolution. It is his autobiography.
Isn't that Kirk Franklin song? Ready for a revolution. Woo, woo. Ready for a revolution. Woo, woo. Yeah, that's it. I know a little bit of gospel. Come on. Come from Kirk Franklin.
He's
and
like,
your porn addiction.
Celeste, put their termination package together right now. It's like fire them.
We can't
So
talk
ready
about
for revolution.
So this is our book. It's basically
GP, are you with me? Oh yeah, we have a church. We ain't going nowhere. GP, are you with me?
Anyways, this is the book. You should get this. Shout out to the Big Little Idea. I try to go to White Whale, and they're expanding. So they're closed. So I went to the Big Idea right down the street, and support your local bookstore. And this is a really cool book. I still lovingly call him Stokely, but his name is Kwame Ture now.
The only Stokely we know anymore is in mint condition.
Well, I believe
mint condition.
But yeah,
Definition of Man, amazing album.
And so that's that. But also, we have a lot of stuff going on. We have some cool programming coming to y'all, and this Saturday,
not next Saturday, this Saturday.
But this Saturday, we're gonna be outside.
October.
Farouk will also be there too, out in the public.
Just don't come where I am.
At the spot. We're going to the spot.
Which spot?
In Penn Hills.
The spot.
There's a place called the spot?
It's a place called Spot in Hills. For my non-halal people, I know where they have the wings and the strawberry henny. But where we are going to be on Friday.
Henny. Yes. Anything is possible.
Wait, where are we going to be on Friday?
On Saturday. We're going to be at the spot.
You said Friday. Okay, Saturday at the spot.
My apologies.
2 to 4 p.m.
Yes, at the spot. Our vote for justice,
It's actually called the spot.
It is called the spot. Bar and Grill off Frankstown Road.
Oh, I used to live across the street from this place.
Yes, that's where we're going to be.
Okay.
Come out. It is a fundraiser for our C4, but it is for the whole community. We're going to have a live open mic. So if you get down on the, the ones and the twos, if you have that song that always shuts the house down, if you almost made it, but like you couldn't hear the right person that ever heard you sing, come out, hop on the mic. We're going to have a good time.
This sounds like
it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun from 2 to 4. So it's midday. You're bringing the kids, bringing the family. We're not judging. Yep. This is not, at the Apollo. So we're not going to womp you. We may stop your song, but come out. Kahari will be the host. So
Kahari gonna spit some bars. He gonna drop some bars for us.
Some K-Mos bars.
Some K-Mos.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and then this is Trouble. This is the last weekend to see your play, correct?
From Thursday through Sunday, Collapsio will be playing at New Hazard Theater. I will be playing Gerald Long with the same exact hairstyle. It's going to be a fun time. It's a comedy. You're going to laugh. You might cry. It's pretty dope.
If you see me come to Trouble's show with somebody, mind your business.
Say no more.
It's not going to be me, so don't hit me up because it has nothing to do with that. So leave me out of it.
I'm just saying, mind your business.
Because we all out here. We all deserve to live free and be free from judgments. Shout out to Woogie.
The reason I say that is because I was someplace.
Tell me what happened.
On Monday, I was someplace. I'm not gonna say where.
Out and about, because outside's open.
Outside, and you were with somebody.
And I had my mask and sunglasses on, looking like Clive Owen in Inside Men.
Okay.
Right? And someone said, I know you're Farouk from One Hood. I love you guys. And then whispered to me something.
What they whisper?
We ain't gonna say it on the air.
What they gonna whisper?
But they said something.
Was it appropriate or inappropriate?
It was inappropriate in the fact that I'm a personal human being that has a private life.
Ooh. What they say?
Okay.
We had discussed it prior. Now I'm curious.
I just remembered it.
When I be out here, it don't be me, so that be my representative. So don't judge.
I like that. That's not me. That's my avatar.
That's not me. Yes.
Now that's my avatar.
Also tomorrow, I'll be speaking at the GPNP Summit tomorrow morning on the power of nonprofit advocacy. If you're registered for the GPNP Summit.
GP, are you with me? Oh yeah, just serious speaking, we ain't going nowhere. GP, are you with me?
Also, tomorrow 12 on Tilt, right here on One Hood Media's channel. Shout out to Julius and Mama Brown on Tilt. And then, is that it? Any other announcements? Register to vote. This is the last weekend to register to vote.
Oh yeah.
So get your, if you have not been.
Can I vote in this election? Because it's like
registered.
city of Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
I can vote. Okay.
Well, no, you can't because you live in Wilkinsburg.
Right? Yeah. Why you just giving my bitch?
First of all, pause. The municipal election is Commonwealth wide, so there are local.
You should vote. Yes,
your local judges, county council.
Will someone be in there to read the ballot?
We have the slate of 5 for the judges to put out that we have endorsed. Actually, yes, if you go down to the Board of Elections, they need accommodations. They will help you vote. If not, people can get arrested.
How you spell accommodations?
For elections tampering. So make sure if you need someone to help you as you vote that you make preparations before. If you go to vote.pa.gov, you can get that information.
Question, Miracle, are we updating our scorecards?
I update mine every weekend.
We will repost the scorecards.
Gotcha.
Yes, we will. And of course, just serious, something happening on Tuesday when we talk about Wilkinsburg. Can you bring Wilkinsburg out?
I do. Yes. So I am moderating the conversation about the future of Wilkinsburg. Of course, Wilkinsburg has been talking about a possible merger. This started, I guess, earlier this year. Some folks were for it. There was also opposition to the merger. They decided to kind of wait, and they felt that folks felt that they needed to be more community discussion. So I was asked to moderate a conversation about the merger that's happening Tuesday at Hosanna House, 5:30 to 7:30. This is for folks in Wilkinsburg. So again, I'm just moderating the conversation. I don't live in Wilkinsburg. I'm there just to hopefully have great dialogue. So come through, but we'll also be broadcasting this. I believe we're going to also broadcast it on One Hood as well. So if folks, can't be there physically, you'll also be able to see the broadcast. Yeah, this is the first of 2 conversations, and you'll be able to comment and on the.
Did you tell them that you don't live in Wilkinsburg since you told them that I do?
He just said that.
Yes, I do not live in Wilkinsburg. Okay. But we want to hear from folks. Like, what do you think? And I
live in Wilkinsburg. Nobody asked me.
I've talked to a lot. Well, hopefully you'll be at the joint, man. And shout out to the folks that
traveling next week. I won't
help me through the process and that I've talked to. And there's some more people that I'm going to call because we definitely want all sides represented. We want to have deliberate dialogue on what's the future of Wilkinsburg. And so
I just want people. Part of it. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say this right now on here, and this isn't for or against. I just want people to deliver food to where I live.
They don't deliver food to where you live?
No. And I'm on Penn Avenue. Since you already put my information out there.
Why are you going to go?
Fascinating.
Well, I mean, but that's like, I didn't say where.
Yes. Penn Avenue is a long avenue.
What you said?
I said it's a long avenue.
Yeah, Penn Avenue stretches the whole side of the city. But no one delivers food.
Hey, watch it, Woogie.
Yeah, and taxes are whack.
So we'll get into that because it's a really fascinating conversation.
They deliver food. I'm for it.
I got you. So anything else? Last comments, final stuff that we want to talk about?
I'll be traveling next weekend, so Farouk will have T'Challa. Please make sure he don't kill my dog, y'all.
I love dogs. I've had dogs.
Oh, you taking dogs now? Okay, so when I travel, I can give you my dog.
Well, I mean, I can't. No, I mean, I'm just going to where Miracle may or may not be. Miracle is dropping T'Challa off at like a safe space for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you see my dog right here. You see her?
What's up, Thor?
He said, "What's up?" He said,
"Thor trying to pull up. I got dogs."
Yeah, he's trying to pull up, man. Like, what's up?
Thor is so sweet.
Yeah, Thor's a handful.
You should bring him to
Is T'Challa still like really skittish?
Why are you gonna talk about my dog when he ain't here?
I mean, I'll ask him.
All right. Well, one of these days I'll bring Thor in and y'all can kick it with him. He would be super excited. Just don't wear anything that can catch a lot of dog hair because it'd be dog hair all over you. Don't wear black the day I bring Thor into the office. All right, with that being said, man, we here. Extra overtime for this week in white supremacy. So
we needed it. This was the episode we definitely
man. I'm glad we got into that conversation, got into some nuance, man. And so see y'all next week.
Cyclopsia. We're coming.
Collapsia.
Slave souls haunt the halls when the light is out. They suck the blood of the poor and to wipe their mouth. The last gas of a world that is dying out. Welcome to the Whitest House, where every room is a tomb that they lie about. Where you can put your filthy feet on the finest couch, and for the right amount, you can even buy it out.